Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a music student at the University of Lincoln. As well as playing music by myself, I'm also part of a funk band, and we go out into the local towns and play gigs. And that is really something fun and that I enjoy. It makes us very close friends because we have to spend all this time together practicing, and it's really, really nice to have a group of people that you can trust and rely on. You all have this connection. A lot of people have been through the same sort of emotional problems, and it makes it a very close-knit community of musicians. It's a really nice experience. I used to live in Norfolk, and when I moved to Cornwall, I joined a new school, and I didn't particularly gel with anyone there. It was difficult to make friends, and that was in year 5, and obviously I'm a long way from that now. In my second year of college, out of my 3 years I was there, I just realised that I wasn't feeling good. Something wasn't quite right, and that feeling down all the time wasn't normal. I felt very alone. I felt like nobody would understand how I was feeling. It made it very difficult to function on a day-to-day basis. It took me far longer to get up and ready in the morning because I was just dreading having to go outside, and slowing down that process meant that I'd be in my own home for longer. It made me not want to work, it made me not want to meet people, and honestly it just made my life even worse. I got to a very, very low point. I felt like I didn't have any friends. I was very much by myself. Life was hard then. As far as I'm concerned, that could have been the end of me as a person. I didn't confide in anyone because I didn't want my parents to worry. I didn't want my friends to think that there was something wrong with me and then shut me away from them. And I think also I didn't really want to admit to myself that I had a problem, and so I was in denial to myself, but also to my friends and family, even when they were asking if there was something wrong with me. Because of how I was feeling, I wanted to shut myself away, and I didn't think people would understand that either. As far as I could see, nobody else was having to deal with the same problems as me. I really didn't want them to worry about me, which looking back probably made it worse because I was not telling them something was wrong when they obviously knew something was wrong. They eventually found out because my sister noticed that I had marks on my body, and obviously she was worried, so she told my parents. And then there's a very emotional few days where they pushed me to talk, and eventually I did. Talking to my parents and opening up to somebody, it was the first time I'd talked and admitted to myself and someone else that I had problems. So it did help in the sense that I had someone else who could understand exactly how I was feeling, and someone who could support me from home. It definitely helped a lot. Once I'd confided in my parents, I found it a bit easier to talk to other people, and I trusted a few of my college lecturers. So I talked to them, and they managed to help me hugely with just starting to pass my classes again. I feel like the recovery process was more of a realization that being depressed isn't a way of life. It's just a chemical balance in your brain, and just trying to remember that it's not you as a person. It was very helpful in the way that I could focus on that fact and then try and push myself to do things. Music was a really good way for me to channel my emotions into something creative rather than just trying to ignore them. I could create sounds that reflected how I was feeling, and it did make me feel a lot better having this output. I still tend to create very emotional music and very personal music. It's very unique to me, I'd say. I don't try and obviously I love learning other people's music, but I feel like I have my own way of playing that relates back to how I was feeling at that time. I'm finding that I can channel all my emotions into music now, so not just my sad ones. When I'm feeling good, I'll create happy music, and it's quite nice to hear how my music is developing as my mental health changes. Life for the most part is really, really good. I'm enjoying the course I'm on. I'm surrounded by people that I love, and I think I'm in the right direction on my life. Even though I still have down days, as I'm sure everyone does, I know I can talk to people, friends and family, and that they will be there to support me. I think the important thing to remember is that it's not going to last forever at most. It will last for a few years or months, but in the end, it'll go back to being good. Depression is very personal to the person that is experiencing it, but some advice that I would give is try and do small tasks every day, even if it's just making the bed or washing some dishes. Having accomplished something is going to make you feel like you've done something with your day, even if it's a small task. I'd say it's always difficult to talk to somebody, but breaking that first barrier of telling someone how you're feeling is probably the most important step to feeling better. And also, most importantly, I think find something that you love doing and do it. If that's music, art, or listening to music, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Just find something you love and do it.